Hello friends, it's me Karen and welcome to today's video. Today is book review and chat, and guess what? I've got the camera on a tripod, so no wobbly videos today. So welcome everybody. And I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers. I've actually hit 150 subscribers. Woohoo! That's amazing. I'm so happy with that. So if you're a subscriber or you follow or you watch, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thumbs up from me. So if you are watching and you're not a subscriber, it'd be great if you could hit that subscribe button, the notification bell as well, and give me a thumbs up. Let's see if I can get to 200 subscribers. That would be awesome. Baby steps. But thank you everybody. So here we are today, and how the bloody hell are you? Have you had a good week? I've had a great week. I'm well. I hope you are well. I hope you've had a great week. But I do know that there are some people out there who are not well at the moment. And I do have some family members and friends who are not well at the moment. So I want to give a big shout out to them and anybody else out there who's watching this and who needs some positive thinking and some well wishes sent to them. So I hope everybody gets better soon and get well soon, just to recover. I actually have a friend who's a long-time friend from school, and he has just had a major operation, and he's got a bit of recovery to go, but it's going to be life-changing for him, and his life is going to be so much improved. So all the best to him. So I'm giving a thumbs up and well wishes to everybody who's not feeling well at the moment. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so this week I've been to Mount Cotton Lutheran Cemetery down at Mount Cotton. Now I was down in that area and I was running some errands, and I had a few things to catch up on and a few people to see. So I thought, while I'm down there, let's go to the Mount Cotton Lutheran Cemetery. Now this cemetery, the address is Woodura Road, corner of Woodura Road and Mount Cotton Road at Carbrook in the Logan City. It's also known as Cornubia and the Carbrook Cemetery as well, Lutheran Cemetery. Now it's on a corner, it's easy to see, and this is a German pioneer cemetery. And I do have a book here, and this is a book from my own collection, but you could probably get that from a library. I'm sure a library or a museum may have that in the Redlands. But this book is, now I'm not going to try and pronounce the top words because I know that's in German. So it's called Hope and Reality, The History of 19th Century German Settlement of Mount Cotton in Southeast Queensland. Now this book was written by the Redland Museum, and it's an awesome book. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about the cemetery and the church. So the church was located on this site at Mount Cotton in the front of the cemetery, and was later removed to Mount Cotton Road opposite the Mount Cotton Primary School at the intersection there where the lights are. So if you know that area, you'll know where the church is. So I went there and I was looking for a few of the German pioneer settlers from the area. Now if we have a look in the book here, actually, I'll just turn my notes over. So we have a look in the book here. On the first page, this has all the German pioneer settlers' names there. So there's lots of them. There's quite a few that I'm familiar with. So I'm familiar with the Holzaffels, the Kraus, the Muller, the Kundy, the Benfer, Summer, Schroeder, Wagner. And if you know me personally, you know that I am connected to some of those names. But they're awesome. So there's lots more on the list there as well. But this is a great book which was produced by the Redland Museum. So I just wanted to show some photos. Actually, I'll show you a previous one I've got here. Let's go to page 21. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Can you see that photo at the bottom there? So this is a photo of John and Emma Holzaffel with their young family in 1905. And now all their children are only small there. But if we flick back to the front, this is the same family as all the children have grown up. Isn't that awesome? And that's a young Emma Holzaffel up there, and that is John and Emma with their mature, it says mature family, with their children that have grown up. So this is a great book. I've got some more photos I wanted to show you. Okay, so this one, all right, this one here is the Heinemann family. This is the Heinemann family taken in 1906. Great pioneers, German pioneers to the Mount Cotton area. Okay, the next one I wanted to show you is, and this one, I love this photo. Look at this one. Now this is a confirmation photo, and it's from left to right. So the man sitting down is the pastor, Pastor Hillier, and then from left to right we have Hilda Benfer, Emmy Holzaffel, Marie Holzaffel, and Mabel Benfer. That photo was taken in 1910. That is awesome. I think that is one of the best photos I've ever seen. I love looking at their dresses, the jewellery, the gloves that they've got. Oh, the boots that they're wearing. Just awesome. Okay, so I've got another photo, which I'll go to. Okay, so this one is the church. So this is the church up here that is now on Mount Cotton Road opposite the primary school, and this is it down the bottom here as well, a bit of a close-up. And if you know German heritage, just by looking at that church, you can tell it's German heritage church by the way it's built. That's how the Germans built their churches, their halls, their buildings. It's very German architecture. Okay, and I think I've got one more photo to show you out of the book. Oh yes, and this one here. So this is going back to the cemetery. Can you see that one, or the glare's on that one a little bit, is it? Okay, so this is the cemetery. This was taken in 1951. Now, in front of the cemetery where the headstones are, I'm not sure if that's going to stay there, but here, this is where the church would have been here in the front. And then this is the cemetery here with all the graves. And if you can see that most of the family graves have little fences around them. But of course now there's no fences there. They would have all been little wooden fences that the families would have built around their family graves. That's just awesome. But that's a great book. That's a fantastic book. And then there's one more thing on the back page I wanted to show you. And this is the name of the ships that brought all of the Mount Cotton German pioneering families to the area. Lots of names there that I'm familiar with. The Susanna Godfrey, the Herschel. What else is there? San Francisco. Awesome. That's all the ships that brought the pioneering families. So that is an awesome book. It's just fantastic. So that one's in my private collection, but you might be able to get that from the library or even the Redland Museum. Okay, also I just wanted to quickly talk about the grave that was on the outside. So if you haven't watched the video of the Mount Cotton Cemetery, pop back and have a look and you'll understand all the things that I'm talking about. But on the outside, so there is a lone grave on the extreme southern edge of the cemetery outside the line of the trees. So the cemetery is lined, the perimeter is lined with pine trees, but on the southern edge of the cemetery is a lone grave, and it's for Walter George Costin, Costin. Now, Walter was born 13th of the 12th, 1874 in Gympie and died in 1919, and it says here by his own hand. And at the time, because he took his own life, he was not allowed to be buried in the actual cemetery. So he was still buried, but on the outskirts of the cemetery, on the outside of the fence. And he has a monument there as well, which has been put up by his parents, brothers and sisters. So if you're ever looking for a pioneer cemetery to go and have a look at, or if you are in the Mount Cotton area, go and have a look at some of the pioneer graves, and definitely go and have a look at Walter George Costin's grave as well. The headstone has been broken off its stand and it is lying on the ground, but it's in the surrounds. This actually is a photo which I printed out of the grave. So it is, the headstone is broken, and that's awesome. So if you're in the area, go and have a look at that. Okay, now talking about the German pioneer families, and one of the names in that book is the Kunde family. So this is a book. I'll just move these out of the way. So this is a book. Oh, it's not actually a book. It's called The Kunde Family History in Birkdale. And it says, including grape growing in Birkdale. This is documented from 1932 to 1970. So this is written by John Kunde. And John Kunde is a resident of the Redlands, and his family were one of the German pioneering families. But I actually think the Kundes may have come from Prussia. But years ago, a lot of the borders were all changed and moved, so they would have been grouped in with the German pioneers as well. So the Kunde family, there's lots of Kunde families around, but the ones in the Redlands, they originally had a grape farm, and I think they grew other crops as well, but they were mainly grape growers, and they were in the Birkdale area. Now, if you know the Birkdale area, if you know where Aquatic Paradise is, which is just opposite the shopping centre, they owned all of that land. That was their farm, and they farmed that land. I'm not sure when they sold it, but all of the land was sold to developers, and then that's when they developed Aquatic Paradise as it stands today. But that is where the Kunde family had their farm. And John is an awesome person. He wrote this book, but because now the book is not in print anymore, then he printed off these pages for me. He's even signed it in the back as well, and he says, "Great to talk to you, Karen. John Kunde, 25th of the 11th, 2025. So this has got the history of their grape growing in the Redlands. Oops. And this here is a photo of John and his sister taken in the 1960s. But there are lots of Kundes. There are a lot of Kundes also buried in the Nunda Cemetery, and there's also a lot of Kundes living in the Somerset area, and they're very prominent German, proud pioneers from the area. So that was that one. So I just wanted to talk about that. Okay. Now, the next one, this one here. Now, this one here, this book is called Olden Day Chores, Churning Butter, and it's written by Fiona North Eastwood. Now, this book was also published after Heritage and Harmony Day by the Redlands Coast Museum. Now, the volunteers published all this book. So the museum is run by volunteers. It's awesome. If you've never been to the Redlands Museum, go and have a look. It's awesome. Like I said, the Laidley Pioneer Village, I would class in the top 10 of the museums that I have visited. The Redland Museum is in the top 10, but that's my opinion. That's just my opinion. But I would class them as in the top 10. So go down there and have a look at the Redlands Museum. It's awesome. Anyway, this book was written by Fiona around the time of the pandemic. and she was a teacher. I think she's retired now, and she was trying to find ways of teaching the kids and keeping them interested, in the pandemic when they were all doing learning by computer. So to keep them interested, she wrote this book. She helped to produce this book. And it's all about churning butter. They used one of the butter churners that is in the Redland Museum. So they then they got a group of children that she was teaching. Oh, she's written a little verse there as well. And they used one of the butter churners from the Redland Museum, and they actually made butter. And this is the book. And this is targeted at school children, this book. But anybody can read it. It's a fantastic book. And it just explains with photos and large text just how important it was to churn butter in the pioneer and the olden days. And the kids loved it. They're making the butter. And actually, when we went to the Laidley Pioneer Village, there was a gentleman there, and he had a butter churner as well, and he was showing us how to do the butter churning as well. So, yeah, go to the Laidley Pioneer Village and the Redland Museum. And this is where they've made the butter. And then they all had it on some bread as well. Hands-on, they're really hands-on, made that. And that's just awesome. And this book is targeted at the school children. That's a fantastic book. I'm not sure if you can still get that book, but that might be at the museum as well. Okay, and lucky last, one other thing before I go, because I don't want this to be too long. How long have we been going for? 16 minutes. Okay, this here is a little book. It's an album actually, and I bought this a couple of months ago. I was in the country and I got this from a little second-hand shop, and I walked in and it was up on the top shelf, and I thought, oh, that book looks interesting. And I said to the lady, could I have a look at that book? And she got it down and I had a look at it, and it didn't have a price on it. And I said, oh, how much for the little album? It's a little photo album, and there was no price on it. And she said, oh, how much do you want to pay for it? And I said, how about $10? And she said, sold, it's yours for $10. So I bought this little book for $10, this little album. But I want to show you, it's so old, it's just awesome. Actually, I've taken one out. So it's a little photo album, and it's for what they call cabinet cards, they are photos. Can I hold that there without it being wobbly? They are photos, but they're put onto a card. So here, I've got one here that I took out to show you. So see that? So it is actually a photo, but then it's been stuck on, by the looks of it, stuck on to a piece of cardboard, and they're called cabinet cards. And these were very popular in the 1800s. And it always has, or usually has, the photographer's name at the bottom. So I got that, and it has quite a few photos in there. There's a gentleman on that one. See if I can turn this over without it falling over. This one's somebody on a horse. There's not a lot. It's not full of photos. Well, that one's a nice one with the lady with the hair done. There's a lady and a man there. There's an older man in a chair. And that one, that's about it. So, yeah, so this is an album, and it's called Cabinet Cards. So I paid $10 for the album and the photos, and I've looked up the photos. The photos go from about $3 to $5 each, but some of them were like $60 for one photo. So I don't know what the value of mine would be, but I was so happy with that. But I love the little old album. I've put it with all my Bibles and the little photos. I love photos. I collect old photos as well. So that was just awesome. So I've got that one as well. Just put that there. Okay, so that's it for today. So that's the books for today. Thank you for joining me. I want to thank all my subscribers, my 150 subscribers. Thumbs up. Let's try and get to 200 subscribers. That's just awesome. Thank you for everybody for watching. Even if you don't subscribe, maybe think about subscribing. But even if you don't want to subscribe, that's okay. Thank you for watching. Thanks for giving me the thumbs up. And yeah, I just wanted to say get well to all those people who are not feeling well at the moment. And don't forget, tonight is State of Origin. Yay! And it's Go Queenslander. And I am a Queenslander. I have pioneering ancestors who are Queenslanders, and a lot of my extended family are Queenslanders. So go Queensland. Yay! And if you can see my scarf in the background there. So go Queenslander. Woohoo! Give me a thumbs up. Have a great week, everybody. See you next week. Bye.